I think you gave it 150% there.
That was on the edge.
Not so good.
A little burny time there.
Yeah, a little hot.
Yeah, stressed. Good morning and welcome back to the USA. Another Drift Games vlog. Today is practice day. Of course, the sunshine is absolutely not here and turned into thunderstorms, rain. The track's going to be wet. There's lots of walls. I'm pretty scared. I'm driving a Mustang on a track I've never driven before. It's going to be wild. However, also note how we keep our rooms on these trips.
Super
tidy.
We got here last night.
Super tidy. We're here about 6 hours and we've still wrecked the place. This is the truck that we've loaned from Ryan from Riverside Drift. Just a cash 5.7 V8 Tundra, 11 mpg.
Which is the same as your Datsun.
It's very, very cool though. We've got wheels, tires, jacks in the back. We're gonna head to the track, catch up with everybody and hopefully get some practice in. So we're here at the track. These are actually the tires I'll be running this weekend. We're running Accelera semi-slick, so there might be a lot of grip for the car. At the moment, they're plugging in the nitrous. Basically, we hope the car is working. We've raised the rev limiter like 1,000 RPM. We've got a little bit more response to the e-throttle. We're now putting nitrous in it. I think the car will run about 350 horsepower, which is probably a third of what everybody else is running.
A third? There's people here running over 1,000.
Yeah, there's guys here running like Velinos like we do in Drift Masters, so it's gonna be very difficult this weekend. But we're here to not make up the numbers. We're gonna try and have fun. We're gonna try and put a good qualifying run on. And if I get into the show, that's a win for me. If nothing else, we've got the coolest car mats of anybody on the grid this
I'll say
weekend.
you're the only person with car mats on the grid.
Yeah, I'm not sure if car mats are a good advantage or disadvantage, but I'm gonna look down and go, USA, Ireland flag, that's what I want. It's my first competition this year, and it's in a car I've never driven before. It's kind of stock against pretty much half the Formula Drift grid. The winnings are $25,000 for the winner. That's not going to be a worry for me. I just want to get in the show. If I get to top 64, I'll be happy. If I got top 32, it'll be a dream come true. After that, I'm probably going to be enjoying the show, but we're going to do our best. That's all we can do. So, going to driver's briefing now, hear what the judges have to say, and then get in the car and hope it all goes well. So I'm ready to head to first practice. All the FD boys rolling out. This is a bit of a dream come true, but I'm a bit stressed out with the car to see if it'll work, but we're gonna give it a go and see what happens. So this is pretty surreal. I'm in the grid and behind me, Alex Robbins, Josea Falaise, all the FD drivers on the grid, and I'm here in my Mustang. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we're gonna try and put a run in, see what happens. Not so good.
I think the nitrous is needed.
No power, just will not spin the wheels at all. I come into the first corner, whether I come in fast or slow, it just doesn't spin the wheels. It's like momentum is the only thing that you'll get the second section because you're just firing it, but you're not drifting, you're just firing it with transitions. So it's like, it's tough, really tough.
There we go. The first time with nitrous now, there's a big old bottle in the boot.
Yeah, so some nitrous, maybe some tire pressure, at least we get the line down. I just want to be able to do the line, that's all. go. God, I love nitrous. It's made all the difference. Yeah, so put some pressure on the tires, you put some nitrous on it, it's better. But like they reckon she's just running a little bit rough, so it's like 250 horsepower probably, and on 265/18 semi-slicks. So like on that first corner, I'm trying to weight transfer, it won't go the other direction. I'm pulling the handbrake just to make sure it goes. Come on it, I'm left foot braking, I'm clutch kicking, I'm handbraking. If I can get that first corner, the rest of it is okay. But when you transition back, there's so much weight in the car, I can't throttle it because it doesn't overpower it. So it's like letting it wash off throttle and then at the last second coming on throttle to get around. So it's really challenging. Why do we brake, Justin?
Oh, you did the old T-pipe again. This time it's not quite as bad. It just snaps the coupler off the front,
So we have now no exhaust.
Yeah, straight headers, American style.
Like the boy in the off-road S14.
Yeah.
He's next to go well.
I figure we just grab a couple pieces from the local parts store and just put it up the hood.
We gotta, if it's not on the car, I can't brake it.
That's true.
So now I cannot brake the exhaust. Take that off.
Yeah.
One thing we will not have to fix
That's
again.
Right. All of our problems go away.
What we might have realized is maybe the reason it's got no power is because the catalytic converters are clogged. So they're going to cut them in half, take the cores out, put them back in. The nitrous might have overheated them when they were testing the car or clogged them up. So who knows? So if we get all that together, we'll go back out and try again. So hopefully that fixes everything. Well, the catalytic converters are now definitely gutted out of the car. There's all white platinum on the ground. I don't think they're supposed to be white, so that could have been the issue, I don't know. I've never cut the cat out of a drift car before, I've never had one. More of a dog person myself.
Wow. So we're putting all the hopes on this. This is like a last resort.
Oh, this is the last. If this doesn't fix it, then we're in trouble. Once it runs, it's all on me then, and I'm so happy with that.
Working on your V8 muscle car, you take a nice night out of some fast food.
Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come.
Car's much better. Came off the line, it spun the wheels, second gear spun the wheels, did none of that this morning. Got into the first corner, still not brave enough in the first corner. For this car, I've got to fire it. Doing a little too much handbrake. I'm going to try clutching it in now and giving it a bit more beans and staying wide. The rest of the course I felt pretty comfortable with. I thought it looked okay. Got very close to the walls down the end and stuff. Thought that was nice. Did a couple of chases with Jimmy Oakes and the boys, so I'm having a blast now. The car works. It's still not easy to drive, still doesn't have a lot of horsepower, but we have a shot, which is more important. So I'm pumped. I'm going to do some more laps. Hopefully finish today with my best laps, and then go into tomorrow with some hope of trying to qualify. So we didn't know that on those last runs with Jimmy Oakes, the car felt better, had the nitrous on, but it wasn't up to temperature, so it wasn't working. So we had no nitrous. So now, we seem to have the tire pressures right, cats are out of the car, steering is good, and now we're going to get another 75 horsepower. And if that doesn't get me to that outer zone, I'm just going to quit drifting because I want to be in that outer zone. I hate not being on the correct qualifying line. So
Well, we have the juice to make it happen.
there is. This is the America in one image. Get it in there.
Put the new giggle juice in.
I'm not Put some nitrous on, made a bit more horsepower, making some difference.
Alright, so we finished the last 2 runs of the day. They were my best 2. Finally got the whole course connected, so I don't feel so bad about my driving ability, and also the car is working so much better now with the nitrous on. So having the ability with the Link ECU to tune the nitrous in, tune everything in, even though it's like not a highly horsepowered car, gives that little extra spice. So tomorrow morning we've got some more practice, then we go to qualifying. So feeling much more comfortable now after today. So let's stop in the dark, let's start in the bright, and go to qualifying. Alright, so we've started today. It's wet, it's raining. Just gained about 300 horsepower probably because it's wet, so no one's driven in the wet yet. Lowering the tire pressures to get a bit of grip into this. In the wet it should be able to spin them up no problem, so we got an hour of wet practice probably. I'm not sure if qualifying will be wet or not, so let's go give it a go.
Slight bit of a movement there.
Yeah, and I'm lucky I came off the brake instead of going in the wall. It understeered into the first corner and it was going in the wall, and I was on the brakes and it locked, and I came off the brakes and just drove it out of it, that's all. So I was actually looking forward to the wet practice, but I went into the first corner on the first run and there was like no power. It was like I was driving in the dry and I was clutch kicking on the last corner like 5 times in second gear in the rain just to keep it sideways. So there was definitely something wrong. Felt like maybe it was just me, and because the car now has the exhaust removed, it's very loud and kind of rumbly anyway. But they plugged the Link ECU in, which is why we have them, and it turns out that I don't have 2 coil packs failed. So I'm on 6 cylinders for the whole morning, which on a car with very little horsepower means we're probably back down to like 130, 40 horsepower, which is not enough even in the wet to spin the semi-slick. So they're going to see if they can try and get it fixed. I don't know. We've very little time to qualifying. I've done no wet practice now with the car working. I've done 4 laps with the car working in the dry, so we're up against it this weekend. A lot of silly problems, but boys are working super hard to try and get me out there. So if I can just get the car running in any way, shape or form, we'll give it a go for qualifying, but not feeling so confident right now.
Is that gapped?
Yeah, this is gapped a little different than we usually do.
Had a little burny time there.
Yeah, a little hot.
It's always good when you find the parts that are broken.
Well, that means we can go try and get parts for it.
What about this one?
Oh, this one's good as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That one will go right back in.
Keep them as souvenirs. We should probably put that. Someone blew out the birthday candle cakes inside the engine.
So the boys are warming up.
Alright, so this is qualifying. I've done no runs in the wet with the car working. We put 8 new plugs in it. Hopefully it's running on all 8 cylinders. It's send it time. Super nervous, the adrenaline's up. Everybody's watching, and I haven't done probably 2-3 clean laps all weekend, so I'm stressed. But I'm looking forward to it because, I don't know, it could be a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life, or it might be a massive disappointment, but we still got the potential to make something good happen. So here's hoping. So, didn't spin all weekend whether the car's working or not, and then go to qualifying, felt good on the bank, car had power again, and then came in, it was like ice, just the weight of the car just caught me completely. I thought I could snap back, but it just kept washing. I saw the dirt coming and I was like, I'm in the dirt. So once I went in there, it was done deal. This is definitely the most stressed I've been in drifting because we've traveled so far. The car hasn't worked properly. When it does work properly, I make the mistake. It just hasn't been going our way so far, and then we only got one shot to get in the show, which is one qualifying run, and I'm a little bit stressed. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on all the nitrous, we're going to turn on everything, give the car 100% of everything and see what happens. There's nothing else we can do here. We've had a great time either way, but I really would like to get a battle, so yeah, stressed. So, I got a 78, not my best qualifying run, but I would take it all day with the morning we were having. I almost lost it on that run, but I went for every zone, I tried my best. There's a couple of bobbles here and there, it wasn't perfect, but hopefully it's enough to get a battle. That would be like a victory of the highest level if I got a battle today, because after the morning we've had, I 100% thought we weren't qualifying. But Justin, making that car just work when it needs to. I think he's playing on the drama of the whole vlog. Like just when it needs to, it works. So
gotta have a good story.
Good story. It's too much of a story at this stage for me.
How scary, you were almost off. There was a moment.
I went on the lock stops and I was like, hold this, and then you are out of here. I was like, and it was just slippy, just there. Everywhere else was bone dry. Look, not my best qualifying around the world, but with what we had to deal with, I'm so happy. So we get, hopefully, I don't want to be too excited now, maybe 78 isn't enough, but we'll confirm soon.
Fingers crossed, and say a prayer and
We just get
do the, what did the Irish people do? The rosary.
The rosary, that's good, yeah, Josh, they do the rosary. There's somebody doing the rosary right now for me to get through that run, Jesus.
One eternity later.
Alright, so we qualified. We actually qualified, which I really didn't think was possible after all the practice and everything, but we got in the show. That's the good news. The bad news is we're up against Taylor Ray, and if you guys watch a lot of Taylor Ray's YouTube, you know he has an MX-5, like Josh, but an LS3, it's very fast. I chased him yesterday, and I couldn't see him. The reason I couldn't see him is the scoop, or the cowl on the front of the hood of the Mustang is so high, his car is so low, it's kind of sketchy. I can only see him when he's drifting, and when he transitions I kept losing him. So this is going to be an interesting one. So we're going to see if we can find him, say hello before the battle, and check out his car. Alright, so we're here in the pits with my opponent.
How's it going?
Taylor Ray, you guys might know him obviously from YouTube and all his crazy builds, and does a lot more work than we do most of the time. He seems to get through a lot more cars. But he's in, essentially you're living Josh's best life here, because Josh has one of these, but a 1.6 turbo pro car, and then he has a SR20 with 500 horsepower pro car with a sequential. So that's a spicy one.
Fancy.
But this is kind of like, this is what I always started off was thinking, should we build an MX-5? And then you were ripping, we were like, they still work, they can still do it. On 15s.
Look at these tires. Like, this is the tire I run. It's a 225, 15. People only think about the width difference, but the height, the front to back tread width. And it works.
Of course, and the car is fast.
Yeah, people are like, it's so fast. I'm like, I don't have any setup things. Like, people think that I'm down there turning knobs. Like, I drove the car for a year and never checked the front alignment. Competing, I finally did check it. It had an inch of toe in. And I was like, oh, I should probably fix that.
But the thing is, I feel when you drive Miatas, they feel faster anyway because they're so low and small. And then you put all the torque in it. It must be fun to drive.
It is really fun. It is like, it is a workout because I don't have power steering, and it's you do kind of have to drive fingertips. Like if you go to an S chassis and you can do that flick, like you can, like my Saphira, I can flick it as hard as I want and it'll catch. But like this car, I'm so used to it, so it's not like a hindrance. But I realize bouncing back and forth, like you kind of you can't just be like ah and chuck it. It won't catch it because it only has like 50 degrees of steering angle, so it's a little limited there.
Well, it looks cool. It's low. It sounds good.
I love it. I mean, I'm not talking crap on the old girl. She's a good car.
We're looking forward to the battle.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get out there. It's going to be fun.
fun.
It's going to be. It looks like it's staying dry, which is good.
I haven't done a single dry lap today, so we'll
It's been
see.
sketchy. Anyway, we're going to see you out there.
Yes. Good
Love
luck.
the car.
Thank you. I
And,
appreciate
thank you
it.
so much for taking some time to talk us through it. We'll see you in a bit.
Yep. Fight, Dave. I'm proud of you.
Gave it a go. Gave it a go. It's as much as she had, I think.
I think you gave it 150% there.
That was on the edge everywhere. I was like just firing. And I think the chase was okay. The lead, I went a bit too early and it just didn't wash the way I thought it would wash, so I ended up on the inside of the corner. And after that, I think I got all the clips everywhere. That was pretty good, so yeah. It was good though. I mean, I lost Taylor Ray. He's an amazing driver and he's got a much faster car than me. This little thing, from breaking down, falling apart, and then eventually getting going, we gave a good chase run. I mean, we did 2 runs where I didn't embarrass myself. We did good fun. It's tough to drive, but I feel like I've learned so much from driving this car that I'm going to bring back to my car, which is lighter, more power. But I still think learning in cars like this is so valuable because you don't have all the get out of jail free cars. Like, you mess up once, you're done. So like, that's why I spun in qualifying, but we gave it a go. I got close. I got as close as I could.
You know what? You didn't embarrass yourself. That's the one thing that you didn't want to do. You put up a good chase run. That's all you could have done.
I think even if I put in my best on 2 runs, he's still better than me in that car. So there's nothing I could do. But at the same time, I enjoyed it because I actually didn't just watch him go off into the distance. I gave it a go. Threw everything I had at him. So I'm pumped.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Yeah, man.
That was all she had.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was like, he's on my door. This is sick.
But then I was like, I'm totally out of control. Well, now you got to make me feel better and go win the whole thing.
I'll try.
Do your best.
I'll try. I'll
Do your
try my
best.
best.
That's the best thing. Well, we'll cheer you on tomorrow. All right, guys. End of the day. It was a good day.
Great day.
It was like an up and down and stressful day, but in the end, it's fun. I think we gave this car every opportunity. We did as much as we could do, and we had a good time.
And you drove it as hard as you could.
That was all she had.
There was literally nothing else in it.
We had a phrase in Ireland that said, I put the foot through the headlight, right? Which means that was as much as she had. But this is the man that made it all happen. This is Ryan, who runs Riverside Drift. Not only did he run a sick event today, and it goes on till tomorrow, everyone had a good time, and you prepped a car for me, and I got to drive. That's a lot for one. Like, I wouldn't, as an organizer, be putting cars out there. I'd be like, that'd be a bit too much for me. But we had an amazing day. Everyone had an amazing day. And Ryan, this is your first big event.
Yeah, so this is the first one that I've had that's half of this crowd. There's maybe 8 of my normal guys driving with all of you all, so this is a huge one for us.
So you were organizing the event and commentating on the event today.
Yeah, and running the scores for qualifying and advancing everybody through the bracket for them. So it was kind of a 3 hats in one.
He's making us look lazy.
It's like, it reminds me of myself once upon a time. Doing it all on his own, but you're doing a good thing for the scene over here. And you know what? These 2 guys obviously are going to be around tomorrow, but tomorrow we're not going to finish the series here because we want to do something all weekend, which is walk through the paddock, check out all the cars, talk to everybody, and check out the top 32, which I don't have to stress about now because I'm not in it.
We can finally relax.
We can all relax, have a beer, and check out all the cool stuff tomorrow. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for watching. We've had an awesome time.